Hi, my name's Jared Frag, and I am a 3D character artist and printer. So I use an Upbox Plus and ABS filament for all my prints and all my prototyping. The design and commission process, it's fairly simple. People reach out and they say, hey, you know, can you design something for me, or can you do this work? And in some cases I can, and I feel confident that I can do the work, and in some cases I just refer them to somebody that may have a better skill set. In the case of, let's say, like the Shazam, you know, that wasn't a commissionary piece. It started off as just something that I wanted to do for myself, and then someone came along and said commission. You know, kind of the current project status, I'm really kind of a fill it out kind of guy. Whatever I feel like that day, it kind of goes to my OCD mentality. Literally, one minute I can be working on Batman, and the next minute I could be working on a Deadpool. Really do it for myself and to continue growing in ZBrush. And the great part about that process is that not just from a learning curve on ZBrush, is that I can take those designs, and with using my Upbox Plus is I can print them out and I can see the detail. I can see where changes need to be made on thicknesses and design processes, and it makes it better for the customer. It makes it better for me. So it's having the Upbox Plus is a great tool in the arsenal of, you know, being able to design for either myself or for other people. So another big thing that I always get when I'm showing off my prints or showing off the design, mainly the prints, is that, you know, they ask, is that SLA, or, you know, what are you printing on? So I have to, you know, explain to them it's an Upbox Plus, and they, well, how do you get it so, I mean, that looks almost like SLA, you know. I would say calibration is one thing. Make sure that your printer is calibrated, your layer lines and your heat are to spec to whatever your filament you're using. Now, as far as, I think the biggest thing is the assembly process and the way that your model is cut, at least in characters. You know, with characters, you want to cut them on lines that make sense to the model. You don't want to cut here when the neckline, like let's say I designed me right now, you know, a natural line to cut would be, you know, around the neck, and then the neck would lock into my torso. So it really just depends on, to me, the assembly is the most important part. Now with ABS, you have the joys of being able to make kind of like an ABS goop, which is like basically acetone and the ABS filament from the support material, and it kind of makes almost like a car filler, you know, like Bondo. So it fuses the parts together, and it makes it sandable, so now you can eliminate those lines that nobody can really see. So then they're like, did you print this all in one piece? And the fun part is that you can try to have them even try to find the layer lines. But there's really no secret, at least for me. And then what I usually do is I hit mine with a filler primer, a 2-in-1. And that's just in case there are layer lines. I can sand them down, almost like when you're doing body work on a car. You know, you're just finding the high spots and the low spots. And then once that's all done, I just wash it and let it dry, and then I hit it with another coat of filler primer, and then I hit it with like a 220, and then I just put a sealer on it, like a gray sealer. And the sealer acts as one, it prevents dust from, you know, getting on the model, and at the same time, if you do it in the right way and don't cover the whole model in the sealer, then the primer is darker and the sealer is a little lighter, so you kind of get some natural shadowing on your print, you know. So it really, to me, it comes down to calibration and assembly. You know, the machines, at least the Tiertime machines, pretty much are going to do all the work for you. You just got to make sure that you're dialed in. If you're not dialed in, I think in any printer you're going to have problems.